Check. All right. All right. Strap in. Everybody sit down. Shut the fuck up. Story time. All right. It is June 7th, 7 o'clock p.m. Smoking cigs in the truck. And we're driving into the sun. It's just what it is, folks. All right. I got a little story. Starting a new job this week, and I'm excited about it. It's a real it's a real deal, non-real job, I guess. It's like bartending. It's kind of fancy. Uh, I'm pretty excited about it, actually. And it's funny because it kind of links around to my last job I had, which was also a bartending gig that sucked super bad. So I'm going to tell you guys the story of the bitch wolf of Bighorn. All right. So the bitch wolf is what I like to call the bar manager from my last job, who was an absolute fucking psychopath to work with. Like, truly. I actually think she might be a psychopath. Like, had a 1,000-yard stare, blank face, fake smile thing going on when she wasn't fucking plotting the micro destruction of somebody. Absolute terrorist of a fucking person, in my opinion. Just fucking so fake, so annoying. Nothing really super redeemable, and just plain mean. This bitch was mean. She was like, she was like, stop trying to make fetch happen, Gretchen. Type of mean. Like, I'm talking mean. She's also fucking smaller than some kids I fucking have babysat. She's like 4'6", trying to put on this like gymnast Kardashian vibe. Fucking hard to swallow with like full blown sexy baby voice, but it's also sexy baby voice that's like been up all night shouting to like get her voice up into the volume of normal size adults. So it's like a raspy baby voice. It's like, but I'm sexy, but I also have been screaming all night. Like, she sounds like she smokes more fucking cigarettes than me. But, let me get a sip of this coffee here. She's a fucking, what have I told you so far? She's a fucking psychopath. She's fake as hell. On my first day, she praised me super hard and was just like, oh, we've just really needed a person like you who works so hard, blah, blah, this and that. Like, literally a little over the top, too, in my opinion. And I'm not the type of person to, like, shirk away a bunch of compliments. Like, I like them, but, you know when it's not real, sort of. And also, it had only been one day. But then just be a complete fucking Ugh. Ugh. Terrible. Anywho, so a couple weeks goes by. I get in good with all the rest of the people that work at the bar. I finally don't feel like the new guy. Work some really busy nights. I actually only worked the busy nights. That was like my gig, because I was like the bar back. And so when you work the busy nights, that's where you meet the real kick-ass employees too. It's like they're not the fucking bar manager and the bar manager's sister who are like hot and get the best shift in the morning and then get to sit on the fucking laptop for 4 hours and still collect tips off of everyone else's shift. These people are the people who like just need a job, took the fucking whatever hours they could get, and then were confident enough and consistent enough to end up getting the good shifts during the busy nights. And I like that crew, and I feel like that crew likes me too. Probably. I don't know. Probably not after this. But they were just a bunch of fucking boring college people too. But at least they worked hard, and they were interesting, and were helpful, and there was like a team vibe. Like, it felt good when I was working with those guys. Everybody was kicking ass and not talking about work and being nice and competent and quick and sharp. It was badass. Well, we had a really bad night one night. Super bad. I remember the bar flooded. We were running out of fucking everything. Like, it was pretty crazy. And then it turned out that the reason the whole night was such shit and chaos is because the fucking bitch wolf, who is the bar manager, had shirked out on all of her responsibilities for that evening and also messed up a bunch of ordering things and knew that the bar was going to flood and that there was a clog, but just didn't have that taken care of before she took off for the weekend. Which, good for her. That's cool. But, everybody else was super fucking pissed. And while the bar was flooding, that was also one of the busiest nights. Like, I don't know that for a fact, but that's what everybody was saying, and they had all worked there for a long time. It was busy. It was like wall to wall full of people. It felt like a Super Bowl party or something. It was fucking very, very busy. And it got so crazy with the flooding and the like running out of stuff that should have been there, like weird stuff like ranch and just shit that a restaurant slash bar and grill, bar and grill needs. And so eventually the owners get a call from like two different employees who are both just fucking pissed at this girl, Bitch Wolf. And and the owners have to come in. They call like Easy Router or some shit to get the shit unclogged. Fucking everybody was telling me I was kicking ass that night. Like, I was literally on my fucking knees picking up some of that stuff. And it was a grimy night. It was cool though. I like that too. I like hard work, and I like getting through like chaotic situations with like strong team. And I don't know, it just felt like really cool that night, just because the bosses came in and saw us all just handling a really hectic situation. And so the bar is super fucked the next day, because now the prep has been kind of fucked off for 2 days in a row, because everything was so fucked up the night that it flooded that we didn't get to do too much prep either. Like, they just sent us home after the restaurant was closed. So I come in for brunch the next day, and that's usually a pretty chill shift. Just a lot of mimosas and stuff like that. And I show up, first like hours going by really good. We're kind of out of things that we're shorthanded, but it's not the worst. And then as time goes on, the fucking bitch wolf shows up and just starts, she jumps on shift and starts scuttling around the whole bar at like Mach 1 as fast as she can go. And she's like slamming things around, accidentally breaking glasses and bottles all over the place, trying to like restock things that she should have restocked 2 or 3 days ago. She ends up smashing like at least 50 champagne bottles into a trash can just in rage that she could have placed in there like a goddamn adult. But she smashes them in there. And then there's a lot more glass in this trash can than normal because it's all smashed up too. Like it normally wouldn't have all fit in there. So it's like hella heavy and broken and wet and just awful. She's just creating fucking terrible situation. Customers are literally like mentioning it out loud to her, just like, geez, or like, you okay? Everything okay? Why are you doing, And which is making her more mad. She's going like more Tasmanian devil. She still has this like blank fake smile shit going on the whole time too. And is just getting furious. Mostly because she has created all this drama for herself too, and now has had to come in on her day off. She's super fucking hungover looking. And, it's just winding up. It's getting real tense in there. Super tense. She starts like screaming orders at everybody from across the restaurant. It's a bad look. Terrible, terrible look. And, I just spilled coffee all over my ball sack. Fuck. Uh, so eventually she kind of zeroes in on me. And I'm kind of like kicking ass on this shift. I'm doing good. I'm definitely not being like the weak link. And I'm trying to bust tables for the waiters and shit. And she fucking screams at me from across the whole restaurant, Jared, I need limes. And keep in mind, this girl is like fucking 4'11". You can't even like really see her over the bar. She's so fucking hard to take seriously. It's incredible. She's got this like wannabe sexy baby voice that just sounds like fucking transvestite cigar salesman or some shit. And just it's like this terrible audio to have to hear cut through the whole room. And so I just stop busting tables and I run over there, start cutting up the bar some limes. The bar has fucking limes too. It's like there's enough shit in the prep thing for at least 15, 20 more cocktails. It's not a big deal. And so I start cutting up limes. Within like 2 limes I've cut up, she's like, I need you to go bust tables. And she kind of like shoves me out of the way. And it's really physical too. It's not like the way everybody else bumps into each other at a bar or you grab somebody so that they don't slam into something as you're running into them. I'm very familiar with like how work contact goes and stuff, and like that doesn't bother me at all. This bitch fucking pushed me just because she's like throwing a huge fucking tantrum. Fucking spoiled brat who's not used to she's fucking not used to cleaning up her own goddamn room. You can tell. It's fucking ridiculous. So she shoves me. I remember like my jaw dropped. Just like, what the fuck? Because her face is like at my elbow. She's like, I need you to go bust tables. And at this point, I get a little condescending. And I'm just like, oh, you want me to do that now? Because that's what I was just doing too. I had already noticed that that was the thing that needed to get done. There were people waiting to sit down. Some tables were empty but dirty. It was the obvious fucking thing to do. And I'm like, oh, so you want me to go do that now? And she's like, yeah, I want you to go do that right now. Just like, kind of brush it off my shoulders, go out there and bust off the tables. Probably within 2 tables, she fucking screams at me again about grabbing her like a fucking hot sauce that is within 3 feet of her that she could grab herself. But that just goes on for a while. everyone in the whole tone of the restaurant has changed in the fucking 15, 20 minutes that she's been there. It was not bad at all. It was just busy and bumping. And since she got there, it was like total walking on eggshells vibe. No good. No good, as Tim Dillon would probably say. Uh, so the dishes start piling up behind the bar, and that is my responsibility. And I was kind of like avoiding that area because that was the fucking ground zero for her temper tantrum. And I just did not want to be within like 10 feet of her. So I was just kind of letting it stack up, and I was going to get to it when she wasn't there. But sure enough, fucking found something else that she could scream across the whole entire bar to look like a complete retard in front of everybody. So she did. And I walk over there and start doing the dishes. And this time she shoves me very hard. And my hip hits like part of the counter. And it's like, it triggers like a thing in me of like remembering being on the bus and like fighting kids on the bus or getting into like scuffles with my brother and shit. You know, it was that kind of shove where it like changed my mindset for a split second. And I went into like shove back mode or like fight mode kind of. And it brought up a bunch of weird memories too of one of my psycho ex-girlfriends broke into my house and attacked me one time. I'll have to tell that whole story on here once. That'll be a different episode. But I kind of had like I don't know if it's like PTSD or just like a real bad memory thing with that, but it kind of like put me in that mindset sort of too. And it was at that point that I was like, you know what? Fuck this job. Like, if she does one more fucking thing to me, I'm out of here. And, while I'm doing the dishes, she comes up and shoves me again. It's not so hard this time. This one's more of an actual, I gotta get past you kind of bump. It wasn't the worst. But it also wasn't friendly either. Like, usually you would say, like, behind you, or, like, sorry, or like, here I come, something like that. She just, like, slammed me and took off. And I was just like, okay, I think I gotta get out of here. And she goes, you need to take this trash out. And I turned around, I'm like, oh, you mean this 200-pound trash full of broken glass and champagne? And she slams like she's making like a Bloody Mary or something. She slams everything she has in her hands down as hard as she can, turns around to me. 4'11", keep in mind, or like maybe, so small, like looking up at me screaming, she's like, well, I fucking did it yesterday, so if you can't fucking do it, then you can get the fuck out of here. Full volume, screaming, in the middle of a restaurant, right behind the bar, everyone can see this, it's so bad looking. And I just put the trash down, and I was like, okay, and I walked outside, and I went up to one of the servers, who was this gal that I thought was really cool. And I was just like, hey, I'm leaving. And she was like, what do you mean you're leaving? And I was like, I gotta go. This fucking, this fucking chick is like shoving me and, I'm being bullied. And I'm just not gonna do it. And I've worked in a bunch of kitchens and shit like that. Like, if she was a badass bartender who knew like how to make her own fucking vodka or some shit and was winning like best cocktails and like was a chef about her job, I would absolutely take some bullshit if I was like learning something, but I wasn't learning anything. In fact, I'm pretty sure I was the only fucking person at this place with an alcohol awareness card, and I was like the only one that wasn't allowed to make drinks for people. Fucking retards. So I leave, get a text from the boss, kind of tell the boss what happened. I actually didn't even know it was the boss when I was texting her. I thought it was like another employee who I just hadn't saved her phone number. And then, like an hour later, I get this really catty text from the bitch wolf where she also puts in the owners in this group message, and it's just like, "Hi, unfortunately, since you abandoned your job today, we're gonna have to go in a different direction with you," and blah blah blah. And it's just like, I don't know. That fucking text message made me laugh so hard because uh, I just know the actual fucking reality of the situation that she was dealing with. And how she was really behaving while she was writing that fake text message, was probably screaming at somebody else at the time or smashing more bottles into the trash can. Fucking, which I hope to God she had to take out that fucking bitch. But, so I get that text message and I'm like, oh, hell no. And I drive back there and go in there and I walk right up to her and I slam her face into the corner of the bar as hard as I can and just start elbowing her in the back of the neck until her like arms go limp. And everybody's like, what the fuck? And, then I take her over to the dishwasher and just kind of like cram her in there, throw that shit on rinse. And everyone's jaws are dropped, and I just walk out. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do this to her. I did not go back in there and hurt her. Uh, but so I got fired, I guess you could say. But I got a text message from literally almost everyone working there, being like, "Fuck this bitch. She sucks so hard and always has. Her and her sister have a weird fucking like amount of power in this place and it's becoming a problem, this and that." It's very classic work drama shit. It just happened to me, so I have, I got to vent about it a little bit. It's fucking annoying. And, you just can't let people abuse you. You really can't. Like, it's no good. Even if you have to, because I was so broke after I walked away from that job. That was a good job. I was making decent money. I was about to move up to bartender. I would have been making way more money, but the whole time I was just like, it's gonna be with the bitch wolf and her little clone sister. They're both like fucking, they look like drunk babies. They drink fucking 7 shots of Don Julio each and are wearing like cheetah print fucking spandex underwear at work and shit and are like, "Hey, I'm really a bitch. Did you go to the Eddie this weekend? Did you see Jason was there? Did you see him? It's fucking crazy." I want to say they were Italian just because, like, I can't think of anyone particular, like, uh, race or group of people that behaves the way these people do. Like it was like gaudy and just like so narcissistic and weird, just terrible. Her little sister wasn't the worst. She was kind of nice to me while we were training, but you could tell that she had her fucking big sister's hooks in her, and when push came to shove, family came first, no matter who was right or wrong. Like, she watched she watched her sister treat me like shit and didn't do anything about it, and was probably the one person that could have calmed that bitch down at the time. But whatever. You just can't let people abuse you. Abuse is no good. You'll always feel better for getting that shit away from you, I think. Even if you got to go through some hard times and be broke and shit. And that's why I'm really stoked I got this job I got now. I'm bartending at a bougie kind of like event hall park type of like wedding. The other night I did the prospectors ball and shit like that. Like, I don't know what you would call it. It's kind of like catering, but it's bartending, and it's like you work at the event center place, and it's like this nice old mansion on a park grounds. Very classy, actually, and the cocktails are extremely legit. But I don't know. I guess the point is you can't put up with that shit. even if they're waving the fucking carrot. Like, they're giving you the fucking stick the whole time. It's no good. Yeah, abuse. I don't know. So my buddy comes over to my house the other day, and he's going through a decent amount of drama, for sure. To which I am empathetic. But, you know, to be fair, we're not like extremely close. We used to be really close, but we've honestly been good friends for so long that we don't have that much to talk about unless we like take some time apart and then collect some stories, and then we have new things to talk about with each other. But he just shows up randomly one day, which is cool. And he's got like his backpack and everything. He just walks in. He's like, "What's up?" And he sits down and sets up his laptop and all this shit. Doesn't really like explain why he's there, or there was no call about like, "Yo, I'm coming over." And because these fucking people in my life, they all just I'm always available to these people. It's incredible. I never treat anybody the way that I feel like I get treated, and I'm sure that's like how everyone feels all the time. But I swear to God, some people just fucking think I'm like a goddamn Nintendo cartridge that can be plugged in whenever they get bored. Shit drives me nuts. Like, I want to talk too. How about I show up to your house and fucking start doing my homework on your fucking coffee table? And then he goes, "Hey, I got a Zoom class and stuff. Can I use your bed?" And I'm like, "No, you want my bed?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to do my homework on your bed in your room." And I was like, "No, dude. You can use the living room for sure." But I was like, I was already using my house today. Like, I had plans to use both of these rooms today. Maybe I was gonna fucking jerk off in there or something. I don't fucking care. I don't need to explain myself to you. No. How's no sound? Guy, can I use your bed? Fuck no. Last time you used my bed, you fucking plowed some Russian psychopath and then left my fucking sheets and blanket in the washing machine soaking wet. Fucking 12 hours. So, I'm gonna say no thanks to the bed thing. And that's just, that's the summer of consequences in me right now. And summer of consequences is like my New Year's resolution, sorta, where it's just kind of like being brutally honest for the sake of cutting bullshit out, even if it adds a little drama. Like maybe your friend gets mad at you because you don't let him do a Zoom class on your bed, and then blows you off for a couple weeks, and now you're not talking. And that's the summer of consequences for both of you. Summer of fucking consequences. Uh, yeah. I was talking to my girlfriend. She was like, "Why do you keep saying summer of consequences?" And I was like, because I'm going to beat the shit out of a bunch of trans people this summer. And she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, well, like, let's say someone who identifies as a boy has a problem with me, and I'm completely making up this dramatic situation. This is just like the most extreme version of what summer of consequences means to me. But let's say somebody who's transitioned into being a boy challenges me to like a physical fight. Like, in my opinion, summer of consequences, I'm gonna fuck you up, or I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna hit you, and I'm gonna fight you the way I would fight the fucking kids on the bus. I'm gonna fight you the way I would fight Bitchwolf if Bitchwolf identified as a boy. God, I wish fucking Bitchwolf identified as a boy. But, because that would be summer of consequences. No fake rules, no like, because that's the way it should be. Like, no, back to math, back to nature, back to science. Fucking 2 plus 2 is 4. Talk that shit, get hit. You know, that's the way it would be. And then my roommate, he was fucking super funny. He was telling me that it would be, because I was telling him this too, and he was like, actually, it'd be kind of transphobic to not beat the shit out of them at that point because you wouldn't be being like inclusive to their identity. And he said that much funnier than I just did, but I thought that was fucking kind of a hoot. So right now, summer of consequences is I don't know. Maybe I'm experiencing some summer of consequences too. That's what I always think. I always think that it's going to be this thing that I get to use against all my enemies, and it's just like every time something that makes a lot of sense, like a responsibility that I've been shirking or something catches up to me, I'm just like, summer of consequences. You found me. You work on me too. So I like this rule too because it pisses me off just as much as it pisses off other people that I make listen to this fucking fake rule that I made up. Kind, the fucking cannabis store, they're not experiencing any fucking consequences that they should be right now. They should be burning to the fucking ground. I'm not even kidding. Wish a goddamn drum circle would come in there and sound bath that shit into dust or whatever the fuck they do. Uh, they owe me an Amazon gift card. I worked there for maybe a week in February. It was probably the worst job I had all year, for sure. I had just gotten off another weed farm job that was super cool and was way more like just working on a farm where you were just a farmhand and had to do every part of the job. And then I worked in this fucking god awful, like tech forward indoor weed grow op in Sparks, Nevada. God, it was awful. Called Kind, with like an HR department and everything. It was a fucking nightmare. They make you dress up like a prisoner, fucking Guantanamo Bay. They have every single part of the job completely compartmentalized and like pyramid style stepping stones so that every employee is trying to fuck over every other employee to just get one small step up out of the shittiest job into the next least shitty job. It was terrible. And their weed was just grown with like straight up cancer causing psycho lights and just code red Mountain Dew looking elixirs and shit like that. I was not about it at all. At all. But they had a day on my first day where half of one of the departments, I think it was the trimming department, which is like the most monotonous job in the weed industry. You just sit there and clipping little leaves off of it. I'll never ever trust anyone who tells me they like trimming weed. Fucking, uh, half of this department walked out on my first day. Like, walked out in the middle of the workday, and it was a big deal, and everyone saw it. And I guess there was like, one of the kids threatened to come in and shoot up the place on the way out, and he was apparently this super hesher kid that kept a bunch of rifles and shit in his car. Uh, They fucking made me sign an NDA too. Don't fucking sue me over this, kind. If you ever hear this, I doubt you ever will, but if you hear this, don't do that. That's fucking that's not chill, bud. That's not kind. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this fucking so I guess this fucking Kyle Rittenhouse style character kid threatens to shoot up the place, but doesn't get fired because like his mom runs fucking maybe the HR or some shit, or his aunt is like some high up in the company or something. And I'm like, ooh, that's a little sketchy. This could be my first like shooter experience in the flesh. And so then they incentivize everyone to come in the next day, and they're like, "Listen, I know that we're usually closed on Saturday, but we're going to be open tomorrow, and anyone who comes in is going to make time and a half, and also get a $150 Amazon gift card." And I was pretty broke at the time, so that time and a half sounded really good. And also, Amazon gift card. Who the fuck doesn't want that? And so I came in the next day, and I was like, shit, I'll do that. Show up. There's no security guard that day, which I just thought was like fucking next level crazy, because this place videotapes you taking a fucking shit, basically. Like, they fucking watch you do everything, and they make you take everything off and fucking it's fucking crazy, the amount of non-trust they have in the employees. And then you show up the day after somebody threatens to shoot up the fucking place on a day where they wanted all these people to come in and work to cover the missing work that all those kids that walked out my first day had accrued onto the docket. Which, by the way, just goes to show you how, like, soulless this fucking weed company is, too. It's like they will just pluck their weed on the 15th because the schedule says you pull in on the 15th, not because the weed's done. They just gotta stay on fucking schedule. So they're trying to turn weed into fucking a computer program, and at the same time trying to get all of us fucking shot up in this building with no fucking security and only one door out. But this fucking rifle enthusiast ass kid apparently knows like the back of his hand because his fucking family owns half the building. So that fucking sucks. And I worked that whole day. Wasn't the worst day. But I decided that was going to be my last day. So I finished that whole day. And then I just started emailing them and telling them that I wasn't going to be able to make it in. I think I lied to them and said that my truck wasn't working. And I couldn't get there. Or maybe that was true, actually. I think my truck did break down. I could have rode my bike, but I just fucking told them I wasn't able to get there. And they were like, oh, okay, whatever. And they sent me this fucking huge packet with my last check. And it's got like 9 pages, basically like full of legal jargon explaining that I abandoned my job. And man, this first podcast is going to make it seem like I just bounce around jobs a lot. Whatever. But it said that I abandoned my job and this and that. And so that I was not eligible. It was basically fucking 9 pages saying that we're not going to pay for your unemployment, which I didn't want anyways. That's fine. But sure enough, the fucking Amazon gift card was not in there. So I email someone about it, and I get ignored for like 3 months. This is in February. And it wasn't until March, April, May. It was in May that I got an email back saying like, oh, sorry, I just got your email. And I sent them a pretty strongly worded email that was just like, you guys owe me this, and you created a really unsafe work environment, blah, blah, blah. I'd really appreciate to just get the things that are owed to me back instead of a huge pamphlet about why I can't have unemployment. And the lady's like, very HR style, just like, oh, I understand. I'm sorry for any confusion. I'll send it right to you, and feel free to email me if it doesn't show up at your house. And so maybe a week ago, I get something from these guys in the mail. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that took forever. It's June. And so I had it sent to my mom's house too. So I go to my mom's house and I pick it up. I don't open it because if there's a card in there, I can feel the card in there. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. And I go all the way home and I open the thing and it's like my identity badge from the first day where you have to like sign up and get ready to get like this punch-in card. But it took them that long to make my fucking punch-in card and mail it to me. And they still haven't sent me this fucking gift card, god damn it. So I'm thinking about going and clocking in and just making some money that way, I guess. Maybe I'll clock in and fucking put some bleach water in the fucking water fountain or something. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, and then this company, oh, I forgot to mention this. So like 2 weeks before I get this identity card, which is not my fucking Amazon gift card, which I would like, uh, they send me an email, but they send me an email as if I'm somebody they've never talked to before. And they're like, hi, we are a premium cannabis company based in Sparks. And we were just going through these resumes on like Indeed or whatever the fuck you use to cigarette to, you know, we found your resume online and it says that you worked on a weed farm and we're really interested in having, and they literally tried to have me come in for an interview. And this is the same bitch that sent me the fucking 9-page packet. I know it is. Who is also not sending me my fucking Amazon gift card. God damn it. Amazon. Jesus Christ. 2021, the year that when people hear the word Amazon, they don't think of the greatest river in the world or a warrior race of superwomen. They think of fucking people peeing in bags, duct taped to fucking forklifts in warehouses, and fucking sprinter vans. Ugh. Drone deliveries. But, yeah, I want that gift card. And, I know I signed an NDA, but I didn't, I didn't say anything that wasn't true. And, let's all just be cool about it. Smoke a little bud. Fucking practice what you preach a little bit. Give me my fucking gift card. Yeah. That's about it. That's all of my rant for right now. Oh no, that's not the end of my rant. I forgot. This runs deep, folks. This runs deep. Okay, so, Bitch Wolf. Back to Bitch Wolf. You didn't like, whoo! Bitch Wolf. God damn. Okay, so this bitch, let me just remind you, is half my fucking size. Getting mad at me at fucking work, acting like I'm working slow and shit. Running around smashing shit, fucking psychopath lunatic. Yuck. She's half my fucking size. It doesn't even matter if I move slow. Even if I'm moving half your fucking speed, you and I are gonna get there at the exact same fucking time, you little fucking Oompa Loompa. Anywho, so my new job, super tight. It's the catering bartending job. Super nice bar. It's in a big event hall. It's on a property that has this like beautiful park and shit and like little Airbnb cottages around the rim of it. It's on the river. It's beautiful. Like I would be proud to show my mom that I work here. And turns out I'm going through the fucking roster for the year of weddings, and I'm totally bartending Bitch Wolf's wedding. I'm bartending her fucking wedding at a bar that is so much more superior than hers on her happy day. I'm kind of caught in a moral quandary right now about whether or not to tell my bosses that we hate each other. Or, hate's a strong word. I do feel like she hated me. I'm not super sure that I hate her, but at this moment, I do. I do kind of hate her. She sucks. Uh, but I feel like I like my job, and maybe I should tell my bosses that on this narcissistic psychopath's most narcissistic day of all time, that's going to be completely all about her. She's going to go to get a cocktail and see my puss smiling back at her. And that's going to be great for me. I'm going to really like sitting there and knowing that her fiance's family and her family are all tipping the shit out of me for my nice cocktails at a job that she treated me like I was fucking incompetent at. That to me is nice and feels like kind of some poetic justice. It's kind of like when like, ooh, this happened to me recently at Bighorn too. Like a girlfriend of mine, not the one that broke into my house and smashed everything, but a girlfriend of mine that cheated on me with my dead coworker's fiance 3 days after she died, started coming into Bighorn and just smiling at me and expecting me to like engage with her. And I did not. And I wasn't a waiter, so I didn't have to anyways. But eventually DM'd me on Instagram and was like, hey, sorry if I'm like making it awkward at your job. I just like being in there and it's been so long. How have you been? I hope you're not mad at me still. I think we've both gone through so much that we could probably connect at this point. And it was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck are you talking about? No, no, no. No. Take your fucking thin hair, ex-meth head, fucking thin teeth ass the fuck out of my DMs right now. I did not even fucking respond to that at all. Delete. Bye. And that was the same week I quit that job too. So that was just like kind of synchronous. But that's kind of the way bartending Bitch Wolf's wedding is going to feel, I hope. Where it's just like, oh, look who it is. Look who the fuck it is. The Bitch Wolf of Bighorn.